fittingly for this particular video, it is actually really cold today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit nippy. Few pieces of media have had as transformative an effect on pop culture as Game of Thrones. While the show has been generally well received, one sticking point for critics, fans and even the actors on the show is that nobody ever seems to wear a hat. Something that has apparently led to all kinds of arguments behind the scenes with producers.
So Carl, this is normally the point in the video where I'll say, for the people who don't know, what's Game of Thrones? But
we're not going to do that today because every fucker knows what Game of Thrones is. And if you don't, like, congratulations on getting Wi-Fi under that rock. But, like, just so we've got like a jumping off point for the conversation, I'll say that the majority of the show takes place in a fictional continent called Westeros, which is diplomatically described as being cold as all balls.
Well, I mean, during like the summer season, it's only really the north and beyond the wall that's cold. If you want to be a nerd.
Yeah, but it's like, the thing is though, how much of Westeros is the north for some reason? And that's what I found out. Essos, isn't that because it's in the east?
Yeah, and there's Sothorius in the south.
That's fucking bull. What's the north one called?
I don't remember.
I bet there is. Like, let us know in the comments. Actually, let's put it below. Don't let me know in the comments. Can't be asked. I'm not reading them. But like, when I found that out, it's like called Westeros and Essos. It's like, that's top tier. George R.R. Martin, how do you do it? It's like the level of writing of like, that's like J.K. Rowling of like, oh, the Mirror of Erised? And it's just desire backwards. Like, that's not right. What?
The north is called the north. And do you know what North of the Wall's called?
What?
North of the Wall.
I completely forgot. God, man, this series is fucked up. So someone pointed out to me as well that like the Lannisters and the Starks is based on like, you know, the fight between Lancaster and York.
Yeah, it's the War of the Roses.
The War of the Roses. Lancaster, Lannisters, York, Stark. I went, oh, George R. R. Martin, what are you doing? Is he just like... Is there anything original in this world anymore?
I think, isn't the Vale of Arryn Wales?
Just most of it are, yeah. And then there's...
Wales or Ireland, I can't remember.
And then all of the accents in the show, have you heard about this? Westeros is a stand-in for the UK as a whole, kind of. And a neat little thing about the casting of Game of Thrones I like is that the accents of the majority of the actors and where they're based in Westeros generally translates geographically to the UK. So you've got like the North, and who's up the North? The Starks. Like, or the patriarch of a Stark family, Sean fucking Bean. What does he speak with? The thickest northern accent ever. And then you go back down south, you've got Charles Dance, southern accent. It's not one-to-one because some of the actors didn't want to change their accent. The most famous of them being Sean fucking Bean.
Yeah.
Because the reason they did this originally is because Sean Bean was like, him and Peter Dinklage were the only two actors who, like, there was no one else for their role. It was like they were going to get the role or they were not going to get someone in to do it. And Sean Bean was asked, like, originally, can you put on a different accent? And he went, no. Because all of the people they hired to play his kids all spoke with a different accent to him. And when they asked Sean Bean, do you mind putting on a different accent? He went, no. So they made all of his kids learn his accent.
They asked Sean whether he could do an RP and he went, no. So then they turned to us and went, well, you're all doing Northern then.
And the only one who committed to it was Kit Harington.
I fully committed.
Yeah, but everyone else, like, kinda did it a little bit, but only Kit Harington actually, apparently, do you know what he did? He watched Sean Bean's O2 advert over and over again. So, like, O2, connecting people. He watched that over and over again to learn how to emulate Sean Bean. And all the other actors are like, nah, fuck it, I'll do it a little bit. Because you've got like Arya and Sansa, they don't sound like Sean. I want to hear a proper thick Sheffield accent on Sansa fucking Stark.
Look at her butt. It's so big.
Aye, you're sure right.
Aye, you're not wrong there.
You're not wrong there, gal.
Aye.
Before we get too off topic, the long and short of it is, most of Westeros is fucking cold, as evidenced by the fact most of the characters seen living there wear about 40 pounds of wolf pelts at all times. The thing about Westeros, though, it's not that it's just cold. It's almost inhospitably cold. So, there is literally a section of Westeros so cold, the only people who live there are nomadic like tribes of like bearded badasses and literal ice zombies. And yet, none of the main characters wear a hat. And before like that one person in the comment goes, so in this scene you can see one, yes, there are background extras who wear hats. And that's because according to like costume designers for the show, like the producer said, dress the people in the back or the foot you want, I don't care. But main characters never wear hats. So why? No, we need to see their faces at all times. And apparently the costume designers get really pissed off about this and have clashed numerous times. It's like, why can't we wear, like they're stood on top of a literal wall of ice, and they're stood out there going, it's fucking cold, innit? Baltic out there, mate.
Literally talking to each other about how cold it is.
Well, there were extras in the back. I'd say putting extras in hats somehow makes it worse. Because like, you could maybe argue that. Maybe in this universe, they just don't know what hats are. No one figured out how to make a hat. But when you see an extra in the background wearing a hat, and you've got the main character who's more important and outranks them, freezing their bollocks off.
How do you keep your balls from freezing off?
You got to keep moving, that's the secret. Walking's good, fighting's better, fucking's best.
You know as well how they dress some of the extras in Game of Thrones? Like, they make them wear, like, do you know the wolf pelt things? Yeah. The main characters, obviously, they like cost hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. But for the people in the back, they just got £40 IKEA rugs and just cut head holes in them and make them wear them with like just faux leather over top.
That's my next costume party.
That's it. If anyone wants to do a cheap Game of Thrones costume, just do that. I think I went to a party with a mate of mine who kind of looks like the guy who plays Robb Stark.
Yeah.
And we went to a Halloween party and he dressed like Robb Stark, but he kept introducing himself as Throb Stark to all the girls at the party. And I went in a luchador mask and a suit. Ugh.
See, my annoying one is that when I was at like my peak overweightness with my long hair and a beard.
Were you a Samwell
Tarly.
Oh, no.
And the thing was, someone sent me a picture once, and I looked at it and went, "Oh, it's me." And then I was like, "Oh no, it's not me. It's the actor who plays Sam."
I did honestly like pictures of Bo Burnham. I love the costume designs. Like, we spent a fucking fortune doing this, but people in the back put IKEA rugs on them. And there's a lot of like hidden detail in the costumes people might not realise.
There's loads.
My favourite one being like Joe for all the prostitute characters, because in Game of there's a lot of prostitutes in Game of Thrones.
Of course, you're going down.
All of their costumes are designed for like to be removed as quickly as possible. So if you look at the costumes worn by prostitutes, they always have like just a single bit where you can just undo it and take it off straight away.
Yeah.
And I think they always, for people who are in like battle scenes and stuff, they age them realistically by just running around in dirt. And then you got like, I think Daenerys as well. Like over the seasons, her outfit has steadily got like more lizard-like. So if you compare like her dress at the start of like the seasons and then towards the end, you can see it's got like more scales on it to show she's becoming more and more dragon-like. And there's people in the background with IKEA rugs on their head. It's all good. It's all good.
That's my Game of Thrones.
That's what I want that. I want pots and pans robot style, like level of quality in my Game of Thrones.
There's just one extra that they're like, "Oh, we need some foreground action here," and he walks in front, and you can just see the IKEA tag on the rug.
No, he's carrying the bag. The big fucking blue bag.
He's got like a flat-packed castle. So you've just covered why most of the main cast will never be seen wearing hats.
Yes.
But the title specifically singles out Jon Snow.
Yes, like, as I mentioned previously, like, the producers and the costume designers clash about this fact all the time, but even the actors get annoyed about the fact they can't wear hats. One, because it's like a logical inconsistency in the universe of the show. Like, why wouldn't I be wearing a hat? It's really cold. But also, because where they film, fun fact, it's actually kind of cold sometimes. And according to Kit Harington, like, not only is he not allowed to wear a hat during scenes, he can't wear it between takes. So which means he can't wear a hat when, like, the camera's not rolling because it might mess up his hair.
Who's this little girl? You're prettier than half my daughters.
I mean, have you seen that hair? Does he need a hat?
The thing is that they tell him not to, so he's sometimes stood there, not filming, in full costumes like that. Because he can't wear that because they might mess his hair. Obviously, sometimes they spend hours per day like getting their hair look like just the way they want it to. And in some cases, they make it look specifically shitty. And the worry is that if you put a hat on, your hair might look less shit. Which means that genuinely, Jon Snow cannot wear a hat in some episodes of Game of Thrones. Like, even when the camera's on, because it might make his hair look less shit.
Seeing as we're on the topic of incredibly inappropriate attire for walking through snowy areas.
Yes.
Did you climb a mountain this weekend in a fucking like shirt and jeans?
Skinny jeans, mate. Get it right. Yes, I climbed like half a mountain, and you better put the pictures behind me because this is really funny. I think I went to the Lake District where we have, fun fact in England, we do have mountains. They're not very high, but they count. And they had snow on top.
Yeah.
And I climbed up one, with some friends, and just walked up, and I walked almost the entire way up just wearing a shirt and a t-shirt and skinny jeans and a pair of walking boots, and it was just a picture of me just in the snow like a jackass like this, just surrounded. Loads of people thought it was Photoshop.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm kind of honoured that people think that my skills are that good that I could Photoshop you in front of that green screen
This piece of
into
shit.
the snow. I can barely get a decent key from that as it is.
It just cracked me up. I thought, well, why do people think it's... And I realised, actually no, because most people's idea of a mountain is like 14 fat like Everest. They don't realise it's actually just... it's like walking up a very big hill for 2 hours straight at like this angle. But it just looks really good.
Just look dumb.
To see this picture of me in a fucking shirt atop a mountain.
Additional details as well. Before Karl went for this walk, he was like, oh, so am I alright to do it in trainers?
Yeah, I was almost going to make the trip in Converse, and I'm glad I didn't, because they said you can try, we wouldn't recommend it, because the next day we tried to climb another one, and I put a coat on that time thinking, that's a better idea, it's kind of nippy today, and we got all the way up, and then we got, I think not lost, but we lost track of the path, because it was like, if you've ever played Skyrim was happening atop that mountain to the point where we nearly got blown off the fucking edge. So he's like, when we stood there, and there's a picture of me else you can put behind where I'm like a foot deep in fucking snow.
What a fucking it. Like, did you not think when you got there and looked up and saw that there was still snow on the peaks?
But I didn't think we'd go that high. I thought, well, surely we're not going that high. We're just going to walk like, a bit
you
up
went
it.
there under the pretense of climbing the mountain.
I went
You
there
were supposed to go higher.
But we got like halfway up, and then it's like a little bit of snow. Before it, bam, snow everywhere. But at that point, you're walking up, like you're basically like climbing a flight of stairs for like 2 hours straight. You're boiling up. You don't want to wear your coat when you get to the top.
Did you have gloves?
I had some gloves, yeah.
Right.
I had fingerless gloves.
Fucking
Also, as well, the jeans had rips in them. So I was wearing ripped jeans.
I'm surprised you didn't come down with frostbite.
No, the thing is, though, just out of frame with these photos is the mate who took us there, who was the most prepared, wearing shorts.
Wait, you went up in shorts?
Shorts?
I don't know if shorts is worse.
Yeah. The thing is, he's used to it.
Yeah.
Like, the guy who took us, like,
Did you at least have like high socks on?
No, he had trainer socks on. Yeah, I had a good day.
I mean, it looked like
The
you
thing
had
is, that
fun.
speaking of like inappropriate weather, I've also walked along the Great Wall of China, and I walked that in black skinny jeans and trainers. And we went along the forbidden part, which is the part where they don't maintain it and they don't like patrol it. We walked all the way up there, and that's the video of me shouting the word penis from the top of it. Penis! I think I walked around, what is it now, St. Peter's Basilica.
Yeah.
I walked around that when I went to Europe. And I was just wearing like a coat and I had headphones listening to Rhapsody of Fire. So I was listening to power metal in St. Peter's Basilica.